You are now listening to Out of the Blank.
Welcome to another episode of Out of the Blank podcast. I'm here with Edgard. Now it's Sanchez.
That's right.
Now there was a bike in GTA. I don't know if you remember, but it was called the Sanchez.
I don't think so.
All right, we got to be as badass as the bike because that's what I basically drove all that whole entire game.
All right. I can assure the baddestness with the pizzas probably, but other than that, I'm not sure.
Ooh, dropping the hint to the episode already. I like it. So why don't you introduce yourself to me and everybody else, and also if you want what you do professionally or what you're really interested in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my name's Edgar. Like you said, I'm a pizza enthusiast. That's what I do. I call myself a pizzapreneur, kind of like Pizza Jew on Instagram. He's huge inspiration. So yeah, I'm very interested and addicted to pizza. I breathe pizza. I think about pizza. I cook pizza as much as possible. It's probably the thing I do the most.
Do you sleep with pizza?
I actually have a pizza blanket. Yes.
I have a tortilla blanket, so I understand that one for sure. But when I mean sleep with pizza, I used to work at a hotel, and during the summer, you get those college drunk kids that come to town. Well, I went to go strip the sheets off a bed one time, which is just taking, the sheets off, the blankets, pillowcases, all that. And
Right.
inside of the blanket and the bed was a pizza box with wings, and it was all over the sheets and everything. Like the dude just slept in literally pizza sauce.
Damn. That's a weird fetish to have.
I've been pretty messed up after drinking, but that's a big one.
Oh, man. Yeah. I had never heard of that. Well, but to each its own, I guess.
Well, even being a pizza enthusiast, now what typically is considered an enthusiast? Do you review pizzas? Do you make pizzas? What is it?
I think when I say enthusiast, it's the fact that I am so interested in this that I have taken the time to try to learn, the science of it, to the point that I'm, learning other ways of just, putting together flour and water and yeast and salt and stuff like some people do. They just got to Google, they get a recipe and they make a pizza and it's done in 3 hours. No, that's not what I do.
I could barely make a Lunchable, so I have no clue about any of the whole process of baking.
So yeah, pizza, it's a lot more than just putting those things together. You got to learn your fermentation processes, hours of doing this according to how much yeast you put in your mix and stuff like that. So I've taken the time to learn that, how many hours produce this effect, how much salt produce such effect, what kind of, even the cheese you put in your pizza. It's so the little details like that, I have taken the time to learn how it works and why it's done that way. So much that I have reached to some people in Italy, and I actually have an Italian mentor, and he has taught me the ways of Neapolitan pizza, which is the kind of pizza that I am 100% focused on. It's again, it's my addiction. I can't stop. I gotta make it as much as possible, as often as possible.
Well, how'd you come to the conclusion to even make pizza in the first place? Like, that's not something where, did you just go to a random pizza place and be like, this pizza tastes exactly like cardboard? Yeah, I'm talking to you, Little Caesars. What the hell are you doing out there? It's true, dude. Don't,
It is.
come on.
It is. No, I'm not gonna even deny it because that's exactly how it is.
It's straight cardboard. My grandpa would be pissed at me saying that because he loves Little Caesars. And I'm like, dude, you grew up in the 20s, bro. You basically were happy if they gave you bread they dropped on the floor. He was like, you're right. You're right.
Right. And sometimes I can't blame that people because they have some kind of sentimental value to it. They grew up with this stuff, so they don't know better, if that's a way to say it. But
I mean, do you like plastic or cardboard? I guess so.
I like it on my anime figurines and some of my posters, but not on my food.
See, because the typical pizza place for me is Domino's. That is my all-time favorite pizza delivery place,
Gotcha.
only because they put oregano on the crust.
Oh.
And I used to really love Pizza Hut, but once they took out, like, Pizza Hut, in my opinion, is good if you want to sit down with your family and have a place. It used to have the
Right.
jukebox thing, you click the songs. I
Hmm.
remember going in there with my mom and my brother a few times. I'm like 7 or 8 years old, and I'm clicking the same song over and over again to where some dude's in the back like, play it one more fucking time. I dare you.
Oh man. See, so for me that's I couldn't relate those things because to your question of why I wanted to start cooking pizzas, that will take us to a whole different story, which I'm about to try to summarize as much as possible because it's pretty long. But
You got
I'm
shot.
actually, yeah. So I'm actually from Nicaragua, little Central American country, uh, and that's where I grew up. So pizza there was like almost like the holy grail for us. It is very expensive. Uh, it's a thing you eat, during like celebrations, like your birthday, or you got a raise or something like that.
Yeah, we do that here, except maybe not for raises. It seems like we just bake cupcakes basically. It's like, I like you, but I don't care enough about you to really go all out. So I'm gonna get
Right,
a cupcake or a muffin, even though I would
right,
prefer those.
right. Well, the difference with America though, is here you have it's very um, much available to everybody. You go to the store and you got frozen pizzas. You go to Pizza Hut or anywhere and you got deals for like $5 or $4, and it's very it's very available, easy to access. But for us, it was just done at restaurants and very expensive. For example, a pizza there is like 250 cordovas. That's a little. That's about $8 or so right now, but that's like 3 4 meals for a Nicaraguan family. So it was very expensive for us. So it was a luxury. I used to have it like once a year, maybe once every 2 years.
And then you came to America and you were like, holy shit, I could eat this breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can even refrigerate it and it's still good.
Right. And I got fat. So, so
I mean, that's an okay occasion to get fat on that one because I mean, it's pizza, it's delicious. But
yeah, that's
what
right.
what I started to notice is that even when you talk to, like, I've talked to a few pizza makers now, and I've talked to
Uh
people
huh.
like obviously that enjoy pizza. Depending on your location is what you typically like about a pizza. So what do you typically prefer in a pizza? Not really the condiments, I would say, but more like what do you analyze first? For me, I'm a crust man. I like the crust of a pizza. I don't really care too
Right.
much for the cheese or the sauce that goes on it, but you get me a nice oregano, that thick crust where you just want to
Hmm.
freaking shove it up your nose or turn it into a candle so your whole house smells like it.
Right. Right. So you like a thick crust.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the thing for me is yes, I'm a huge crust guy because again, I notice, and there's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of people here like to load their pizzas, and it's all about the toppings, like a crap ton of toppings. You got sausage, you got peppers and onions, and who knows, whatever the hell you want to put
It's
on
all
it.
meat lovers stuff. Like, let me get
Right,
every single condiment you have on the pizza.
right,
I'm looking at it like
right.
I'm a classic cheese, maybe a pepperoni, or I like Hawaiian pizza, even though people hate that one.
Correct, correct, correct. Yeah, but my go-to pizza is usually a margarita. All it is just a simple thin crust because that's a Neapolitan pizza. It's a thin crust, nice, nicely baked, a little bit on the char on the outside, some Marzano tomato base, uh, fresh mozzarella, basil, and a drizzle of olive oil, and that's it.
Well, when we say thin crust though, how thin are we talking about here? Because there's a pizza joint in my town called Lito's Pizza, and
Uh huh.
they make a rectangle pizza basically, but they're little square pieces. But I mean, it's so thin, it's like paper. So when you bite into it, it's like biting into like a shard of glass. It just cracks that way, and like you get all the chips in your mouth, like you just. But I can't do that one. I can't.
Oh yeah. Yeah, mine is not quite like that. It's very thin, almost like paper, but it's got structure. It is soft and it's crispy on the cornicione, which is the outside of it, that puffy crust, airy, light, delicious.
Ah, see, that's where we differ too on the crust factor part where I don't like what
Hmm.
I call it's called false crust. It's where you bite into it and then you get nothing but air, like you can hear dust come out or something. Pizza Hut did that, and that's what really turned me off about Pizza Hut. When I like a slice, I like a nice thick, wide slice if I'm going to get a slice, or if it's in a pie, a nice medium slice. Because, I mean, it all goes down to the factor, like, how do you
Mhm.
eat your pizza? Do you take it with a slice and you eat it like kind of, the whole, like, take little bites out of it? Do you fold it into a
Right.
taco? Or are you that sick son of a bitch that cuts it up with a knife and fork like you're supposed to eat it, but I sense being a psychopath?
No, no. I usually just fold it up, kind of like New York style, because I like to grab a bite like that. Just, just the good old way. I can do the knife and fork. I know that's how some people say it's done, but I can do it, man. I make a freaking mess on the whole plate, and it's just ugly. At the end of the time, I'm just kind of embarrassed to be eating the pizza. So
Well,
I'm
it's
just
like I can do it when it's super hot, like in the beginning when because when a pizza comes out, they're like, "Careful, it's hot." I'm like, "Well, I don't give a shit," and you're going for a slice. You don't care. You'll burn your mouth on that sucker to the point where you're like, like you don't. At least as for me, I never cared. But I remember I saw my grandmom. She was cutting it with a knife and fork and would take little pieces off because it was so hot, and then she would end up
right.
leaving the fork. And every time I tried to do that, I was like, I'd rather burn the roof of my mouth than look like a pretentious asshole cutting up my pizza with a fork and a knife.
Right. But that's the fun of it. Just grabbing it right out of the oven. That's when the flavors are like nice and alive. And even if you're burning mouth, like you said, a little bit, I don't care. It's just that's the fun of it.
Even saying that when I said that in front of my grandma, she looked at me, she's like, "You're 13. Where the hell did you get pretentious from?" I'm like, "I don't know. I saw it on TV."
Yeah, that's the way to eat a pizza, though. That's how I eat it. That's my kind of pizza. I dig some Detroit style as well, and some Romana, some Roman style pizza from time to time. But I'm a thin crust lover.
Well, what exactly do you prefer, like, in your pizza, like topping wise? You prefer a lot, or do you prefer to let the pizza really speak for itself? Because even this question I'm asking you, it kind of goes into the quality of how you make your own pizzas.
Right. Yeah, I keep it simple. I don't go over 5 toppings on my pizza because with Neapolitan, you gotta go light. Otherwise, you're gonna make a hell of a mess inside the oven. With pan pizzas, made in electric home ovens, I keep it the same way. Cheese sauce, maybe some pepperoni, or no sauce, and make a pizza bianca, which is a white pizza, just a little bit of cheese and maybe some cured meats, some prosciutto, and then garnish it with some fresh greens and maybe a little bit of ricotta, and that's it. I just keep it simple because I want some flavors to bring out the best of them in the when you put them all together instead of having a lot of stuff going on, and you can tell the difference of what's going on, and then your crust being the canvas of the whole thing.
Well, you lose the aspect of what's a pizza. I mean, I have a specific memory when I was at a buddy's house and we were ordering Domino's pizza, but it was the time when they just figured out how to do it online, so you don't have to really
Mm,
call or talk to anybody in case you. I never understood it. Mostly because I think if you wanted to do it online, you probably had some type of anxiety where just talking on the phone was too much, or you're too high and the guy just reads you off so many different items. You're like, where am I ordering from again? He's like,
right, right, right.
you're ordering from Domino's. You have 50 garlic sticks. You have 2 large pizzas, some mini poppers, and you're sitting there
Garlic
like,
sticks.
how much is all that? And the guy's like, it's going to be 56.22, and you're just like, I only
Oof.
have $5. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wasn't, but when you're ordering online, you could add meat toppings. My buddy just got everything they possibly had topping wise loaded onto one medium pizza for me and him to split. And I get it, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this does not look appetizing.
Right, right. See, and that just kind of aggravates me because it's like, what are you doing? You're just literally putting everything that's inside the cooler and putting it on top of the crust.
And then he made me feel like an asshole because he was like, are you the type of person that doesn't like their food to touch? I'm like, no, I don't mind if my mashed potatoes touches my peas or something. That's fine. But you have anchovies, you have sausage, you have bacon, you have all this other stuff on a pizza. I don't know what the hell. It looks like something like, you were just like, take this, and let's just throw all this shit together. I'm like, it doesn't look good at all. How am I going to,
Nah.
enjoy the actual pizza?
Right, right. See, so yeah, that's the way some people think. Just put whatever you want to put on top of it, and I'll find a way to try to digest it. I'll get sick later. It doesn't matter. That's not how I personally think about it. You just got to keep it simple, you know, and you want to experience other flavors, then make another pizza and then mix another combination of flavors, and that's it. That's how you keep it, you know.
What would be your most memorable experience with pizza, whether it was making it or just a certain period in your life, like a childhood? Because I consider pizza a nostalgia food for me. When I eat
Oh
it,
my gosh, yeah.
I get brought back to moments of like a pizza party when I used to have pizza or birthday parties at the Holiday Inn or this hotel type style place, and it was a pool party type event. You have your friends come over, next thing you know, your dad orders like 3 pizzas, bam, you got pizza.
Yeah, definitely for sure a childhood memory. Like I said, back at home where I grew up, that was a luxury, so we didn't get it as much, and that's what made me want to start creating it myself once I grew older. So, yeah, it was for we were at church actually, and it had been a long time since I had pizza. And the pastor says, "Hey guys, you all want to stay for some pizza after work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you don't even have to ask me." So we finished doing whatever we were doing, and I just see this an American family had come and visit. They were like medical and stuff, like a medical missionary. And I just see the guy opening the door, like the gates of the church, and just picture like the skies opening, the sun rays coming upon you, and this dude is approaching the place with like 30 boxes of pizzas, all of them largest, and he sets them on this table and says, "Just go at it, just do it." And I look at them and I'm like, "You mean like everything?" "Yes, everything." Dude, I've never eaten so much pizza in my life before. And yeah, that was a sweet, sweet memory. I think I got sick that night, but it was worth it.
I have
It was
so many
absolutely worth
questions.
it.
One question: was your pastor a gangster because he said yo in the beginning? Two,
No.
telling kids to go at pizza, go all out, is like telling them, here's $1 million, do what you want. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I,
Exactly.
I'm not a big church goer. I think I've only been to a few times when I spent the
Uh-huh.
night at my cousin's house because my cousin's
Gotcha.
like all into the church. We're around the same age. So I remember one specific moment in the church. We had a pizza party, and you had to go through the whole singing. I mean, for like
Mm.
4 hours, I'm like this. At the end, I was like, I don't think this is worth a pizza party. I don't think so.
Come on, man. It's pizza, though.
I know, but I was like, all right, it's pizza. And then we finally get there, and I'll never forget. You know how simple it could have been to just order a cheese pizza? No, no,
Right.
no, 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 no. She ordered one large pizza that was nothing but meat lovers. That was out of my
Mm-hmm.
book. Two
Mm-hmm.
was nothing but like a vegetarian style. I'm all right. Wasn't experimenting with that at the time.
Right,
And
right, right.
three was one that they put ranch and barbecue sauce on top of it already. I'm like,
Oh,
it
man.
was so simple to just make one cheese so that in case anybody wanted to add something, they could, but you didn't do that.
Right,
And she's like,
right.
you're not going to have a slice? I was like, no, but I lost 5 hours of my life I'm probably never getting back.
Oh, damn. That's rough, man.
I got trust issues now. You think, most people say they got problems with the church when it comes to faith. I'm like, no, I was lied to. I was told there was going to be pizza for everyone.
Oh, man, that's rough. I feel you, man. I feel you
Do
totally.
you know what they pulled out for me to eat besides a pizza?
What did they pull out?
Now, I'm going to let you take a guess.
What? Did they have you take communion, wine, and bread or
It
something?
was a fucking hot dog.
Oh.
You replaced a pizza with a hot dog.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I consider that a bit insulting.
That's embarrassing.
And
Oh,
not even a
no.
bun either. I really felt bad. Like I was like, they were just like, we don't have any bread to give you. I'm like, what? Where's the flesh of Christ? Are you kidding me?
Just the hot dog? Just like the plain old hot dog?
Just a plain hot dog and then like put it on a plate and like, here you go. I'm like,
Little
wow.
ketchup, maybe? Little ketchup, little mustard, maybe?
No, none of that. maybe they gave.
Damn, that's sad.
I think they gave me a knife, not even a fork. I was like, thank you. I really feel like shit.
See, you were the asshole in pizza, but instead of pizza, it was a hot dog.
Well, it even comes down to the concept, like, even when you were a kid, do you think your tastes have changed from just experimenting with so many pizzas now? Because, like, back in the day, you could have gave me a Chuck E. Cheese pizza. I would have been more than
Right.
happy with it. But now that I've experienced real pizza, like at an
Uh-huh.
Italian place, I start to notice something. If you can't smell the pizza from outside, don't get their pizza. You should
Nope.
be able to smell it all. If you walk in and there's nothing until the box is dead in center in front of your face and you can smell it then, that's not a pizza I want to enjoy.
Absolutely, and 100% agree. Mark Giacono from Lucali says that when you want to have a pizza, you gotta walk in that place, and it says you want the smell to punch you in the face. That's exactly when you know that you're gonna have really good pizza. Fresh ingredients going on. When they touch that oven, they incinerate and they just generate that scent. Man, that's 100% agreeable for me.
Do you think that's just because of the natural ingredients that are put into a pizza? Like if you get a pizza from Domino's, you can still smell it. And I do love Domino's, but
Right.
the whole factor is a lot of that stuff's really, really processed. And I feel like I don't
Hmm.
ever get the whiff of it until I'm right beside the box. But I've been to some
Right.
classic pizza joints where it's like the doors open, the thing basically picks you up from your bed around the corner and
Hmm.
floats you out of your house into the pizza store. You're like, hey, I'm here. And they're like, did you smell the pizza? I'm like, I fucking smelled something good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's exactly what it is. I mean, there's these places, these chains are still using, somewhat of natural ingredients, just kind of blend in together, and put together in another way. But yeah, when you come in, like where I work, the second you open the door, dude, even around the block, you can smell the scent of tomatoes, and garlic put together, or like oregano. When you come in, you can smell the sausage just getting crispy inside the oven. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So
Do you prefer a nice melty cheese? I know this is something with some of the pizzaiolos. I guess that's what they're called.
yeah,
The
pizzaiolo.
pizzaiolos. I was gonna say Pizzolo, but then somebody corrected me. It was like, no, they're pizzaiolos. I was like, I like Pizzolo a lot better. It
Yeah,
sounds more Italian. But
yeah. Well,
well, I mean, even when you're cooking the pizza or something like the cheese pool type thing, I know that's a method you guys like kind of go by. Like if it has a nice cheese pool, I do like that, but there is a distinct difference in the cheese pool when it's a good cheese pool because you can have a bad one that's like rubber and then you go to bite it and then next thing you know half of it gets stuck down in your stomach and the other half is still in your mouth and you're choking to death and next thing you know
yeah, yeah,
somebody's calling an
yeah,
ambulance.
yeah. Yeah, I've had that happen. It's not fun. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of a hard question because depending on the style of pizza, it can differ. Like, for example, a regular pan pizza or regular 500-degree pizza made like that, it definitely needs a nice cheese spool. If you do it in a wood fire oven, you just want that cheese to melt to a certain extent because otherwise it's gonna burn. It's so hot in there that it's gonna burn. But if I'm making a pan pizza, I definitely want a nice cheese bowl, but not too burned because what happens sometimes is that people cook it too long. They cook the hell out of it and it comes out black or too dark,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's just crispy.
that's fine. Look, I like that on my crust a little bit. I like a nice crispy crust, but when the
A little
cheese
bit,
is
yeah.
crusty, when the cheese is like you bite into it and it's like you're biting into like a charcoal piece, it's like,
Right,
and you can tell too the color is off. It'll go from like
right.
that cheese is supposed to be like a nice kind of darkish yellow with maybe a tint of a little bit of red, but then you see it when it's
Hmm.
like dark red, you're like, oh, they cooked that way too long.
Yeah, yeah. They cook the hell out of it. All the moisture's out, and then when you bite into it, it's like you're taking the hat off the pizza. It comes all off, and it's a mess. And now you just have a naked pizza with a little bit of tomato in the crust, and it looks sad, and you don't want to eat it.
It's an emotional pizza.
It is an emotional trip, man. I'm telling you.
What do you typically stand on the Chicago deep dish style pizza? Because I talked to a couple people, and now that I start thinking about it, I think of it more of like a lasagna or like a casserole, basically.
Oh
It's like
yeah, you mean the casserole? Yeah, yeah. That's a
it's
casserole.
yeah, it's literally like I can't pick it up and eat it with my hands. Like I like a
No.
nice like a nice, I mean, sloppy pizza. Don't get me wrong, okay? I like
Uh-huh.
to get down and dirty with the pizza when it's sloppy,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like it where if I'm going to take a bite of it and as I'm holding it up to my mouth, it all just slips off the side of the pizza and lands on the plate. I don't like picking things up with my fingers like a savage.
You gotta get that knife and fork, man.
No, no, no. That's what I want to avoid. I should be like in my town, we have a thing called a boardwalk. Okay. The
Uh-huh.
boardwalk is filled with attractions. There's pizza joints on the spot. It's a popular tourist attraction. You get to walk next to the beach. You get slices of pizza. They give you a paper plate and they give you a nice big, thick cut of slice of pizza, and you're walking with it and you're eating it. If it's dripping all over the floor, people are slipping and shit. Like you already have horses on the boardwalk that are taking dumps on the boardwalk. People don't want to be slipping on pizza sauce. You know what I mean?
I know. But where's this again?
This is Ocean City, Maryland.
Wow, man, that sounds cool though. I mean,
It's you get used to it. I've been here so long. I look at it now and I'm like, I hate this place.
well, hopefully I can visit sometime and slip on pizza sauce
Maybe
or
you
something.
can make me an actual pizza because I mean, look, the farthest I've really ever gone is maybe a Lunchable, but I've tried some classic pizza places, but all the pizza places down here, they just don't have any character. I mean, when it comes to character, I mean, I know these people that are making the pizza, they're my age. I know that they don't care anything about their pizza. I know they don't go full on into it. I've never met a place besides an experience I had when I went to a concert in a College Park in Baltimore, Maryland. There was a place called Ratsy's. Now,
Okay.
you don't want to eat pizza at a place called Ratsy's usually.
No.
But it was 2 o'clock in the morning. They were open. I wasn't sober. I had to go in. So I went in and I'm looking at the slices. I'm like, can I get one slice of pizza? Dude's like $8. I'm like, fucking $8
Wow,
for a slice. And I go, okay,
dude.
here you go. And I give him $8 for a slice and he goes, it'll be 10 minutes. I'm like, what the
Oh my
fuck?
gosh.
I gotta wait for that too. So I'm sitting there and like as I'm starting to sit there, I'm like, I just paid $8 for a pizza. That marinated in my head like for a long time. And he goes and goes, here you go. And he pulls out this thing and it's like 2 feet long. I'm like, whoa.
Oh
I'm like,
man.
what's this? He goes, that's your pizza slice. I'm like, this isn't a slice. This is a pie. He goes, yeah, that's your slice. I'm like, damn,
Wow.
thank you. And I ate that thing. I didn't feel good on the walk home, but it was awesome.
Yeah, they are doing a lot of that, those big ass size slices, kind of thing. That's happening a lot. Uh, well, it's been happening for a while. I just happened to, discover as I, go into the whole pizza journey. But yeah, I'll definitely make a pizza if I'm ever in that area. Teach you how to make it, because dude, it's so interesting and different. You go to a place, you buy a pizza, you go home, you eat it. But when you make something, you learn your product, you learn to love it, and when you eat it, you appreciate it, you appreciate what you're putting together, you understand it better. I think that's why I love making pizza.
Well, what's the biggest disgrace that you see in the pizza community or you seen on a pizza? Like I mentioned before in another podcast that I had seen Nutella as the pizza sauce and banana on the pizza, and I thought that was a crime against humanity.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, there's the usual pineapple situation going on, but that's a little too cliche to be talking about. It's
Okay,
a
you
right.
gotta enlighten me on the pineapple thing. That's one of my favorite styles of pizza, so you're like killing me here.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't mind it. I actually enjoy it, but I can't have it because I'm allergic to it. So that sucks. Um, but things that I just don't think that should be on pizza is like crazy toppings that I see going on. Like I saw the other day this guy. Um, I respect him. He's pretty cool dude. Tony Baloney's. I don't know if you heard of him. He's got like a taco going on the pizza, and I think that's a bit too much. I mean, that's just for show. But it's cool. I mean, people can do whatever they want.
Like it's
Um,
cool to make a style of pizza, like if you're gonna make a Mexican style pizza, instead of using
right,
like
right.
pizza
That's cool.
sauce, use like maybe some hot sauce or some salsa or add some like
Right.
taco meat on top of it. That's pretty cool
That sounds
idea.
cool. Yeah.
But like even dessert pizzas, I know some people that like them. I look at it like I don't think this is should be a dessert food. It just,
Right.
when you're putting ice cream and stuff, I mean, I understand that because I used to do garlic breadsticks in
Yeah.
ice cream before, and
Uh-huh.
surprisingly, the vanilla ice cream really complements the breadsticks and the
Mhm.
garlic
Mhm.
factor. But I start looking at people like doing sundae pizza, chocolate chips on your pizza. I'm like, this
Yeah,
isn't
no.
IHOP. You can't do that with your pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not I'm not big. I mean, I am somewhat of a purist, and but I'm open to ideas. I respect and love all kinds of pizzas. I mean, pizza is like a kingdom. There is Detroit style, there is Chicago style, there is Roman style, there is Neapolitan, there is Chinese, who knows what. There's so many styles of pizzas out there, and that's cool. I love it. But sometimes people do stuff like that. But what I'm talking about, this dude that I was mentioning, is the fact that he's not making a Mexican pizza. He's actually making a regular pizza, and then puts a whole taco on top of it, and then we go back to the whole thing of flavors. You're eating that thing, and you don't know what you're eating. You're just getting yourself full and stuffed, and not doing it for the enjoyment of flavors, but
Well,
just
you're a
for merely.
purist. You saying that you're a purist, it might, for a lot of people, might be like, oh, what does he mean by purist? It's like, no, you like the classic style of pizza, the way you're supposed to
Yeah,
enjoy pizza. But what we see
yeah,
in videos on YouTube, like Epic Mealtime, the guys are making a 15-pound pizza and they're dumping nothing but pizza on top of pizza on top of pizza, where you got pizza pockets. They make little small pieces to put inside of the dough of the original pizza. Then they're adding like meatloaf. They're adding all these other things. I'm like, you're just doing that to be a challenge. Like pizza
right.
went from enjoying a classic slice at like a date or an event or something, supposed to be a good sit down thing, traditional style. So now it's being challenges. There's a 2 foot or 3 foot pizza challenge in my town where you have to eat it in under a minute. I'm like, you're not even enjoying the pizza.
Exactly. To me, that's just for the sake of doing something that's absolutely and totally now away from what pizza is. That's just, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. I don't even look at those videos because like I know I'm gonna get pissed watching this, so I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna give it a chance.
Well, I mean, it's an art form too. Like what I was telling you before about what your flavor profile for pizza would be is depending on where you
Right.
kind of grew up and what you kind of know. The
Right.
style of pizza reflects that. You being a pizza purist, I can guarantee to you that when I bite into a slice of your pizza, I'm going to get more hit with the original style rather than all the condiments that might be layered on top. If I ask you to say, make me a pizza with sausage, vegetables, all these. I could throw in 50 different toppings. You're not going to be happy
Right.
about it, but when I bite into the pizza, I know that it's not going to be overpowering. You're still going to get that
Yeah.
classic cheese taste. You're still going to get that nice crust taste. You're going to get all those factors.
Yeah. I can guarantee you're probably gonna ask me to move there because you're gonna want that pizza. I'm proud of very few things in my life. One of them being married to my wife, and the second one is the fact that I can cook a pizza. I'm not the best. I'm still working on it. There are so many things I need to learn. I'll never stop learning, but I have come a long ways from the first pie I made. And everybody that has eaten my pizza is it's always very satisfied. It's always happy, and that's why I do it, to see their reaction, make people happy. With what I do.
What's a typical memory that you can really kind of recall of you giving a pizza to somebody and watching them enjoy it? Because I feel like if I was working at a pizza place, not only like I don't work at them only because I would eat a lot of the product, but
Hmm.
seeing the face of someone enjoy a pizza too, like when they sit down and grab a slice and like, oh, like, you see the eyes roll back into the head. You're like, oh, fuck, that's a
Right,
good pizza.
right. It was at a summer gathering. It was it was like half a year. It was a year ago, a little bit over a year ago. I was still perfecting my pizza crust, and um, I had just gotten a new wood fire portable oven, and my family had come in here, and it was almost like 15 people together, and I'm like, oh shoot, I better not mess this up. And I start cooking everything, and as I'm pulling the pizzas, dude, it's quiet. It is quiet, and I'm like, oh shoot, I just screwed this whole thing up. People are probably thinking this sucks. They're probably thinking it's taking too long, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty self-conscious about myself, but I just had to ask, and I say, you guys okay? You want me to to stop now, and then we just whip up some dessert or something, and they'll look at me and say, "You don't even dare to stop. Just keep going." And dude, I just kept pulling those. I said I cooked like 20 pizzas that day, and as I'm done, they were just you cannot hear a sound, dude. Everybody was quiet, just eating it, and just going and I'm like that's why I made it. That's why I do what I do to see people's reaction, and it makes me happy.
See, I'm the type of guy, like I went to Pennsylvania snowboarding and there was a pizza shop right next to the hotel we're staying at. And I went down with my grandma down to the pizza place and they had all the pizza on like the front slices, you can like, oh, we're just gonna heat this up and then give it to you or something. But I was like, they're gonna make me a fresh pizza. So
Hmm.
they're making this fresh pizza, whatever you want to call it, pie or something. The dude left it in
Yeah.
there way too long and he ruined
Oh,
this pizza. I mean, it was really, really unedible and he was really upset. And I'm like, dude, he's like, he comes out to me, goes, man, I'm going to reimburse you for your money. I'm sorry. You can wait on another pie if you want. I messed up and left it in there way too long. It's not good. I don't want to
right.
give it to you guys. I said, dude, bring it out. So me and him and my grandma sat there and ate this pizza. My grandma had a little bit. She didn't like it, but I sat there with the guy and ate the pizza that the dude burnt. And he just looked at me, goes, dude, you don't have to keep eating it. I'm like, no, man, it's pretty good, dude. Like you're a hard critic on yourself, man. He goes, dude, enjoy the pie, guys. I took a couple slices home. I'm the type of guy, like, if you fucking try, if you like put your heart into it and you come and tell me like you're sorry that it didn't work out, I'm going to try your pizza and I'm never going to discredit it because that's the effort I like
Right.
to see. I'm tired of
Yeah.
going to a place waiting a half hour, 45 minutes. Yeah, the pizza tastes good, but it's like, I've been like, you guys don't give a shit. Like this tastes like something I could easily get like off a delivery service or
Hmm.
something.
Hmm. Hmm. See, and I appreciate the way you think, man. That's really special because, uh, yeah, what counts is to appreciate what somebody's doing, especially when they're working so hard. Well, everybody I serve, everybody I cook for, I always cook for them like they are royalty. It can be my family, it can be a stranger, it can be a friend's birthday party that said, "Hey, come over and cook for me." It doesn't matter who it is. I cook like it's royalty for me. And that's probably what this guy was thinking about you so much that it mattered to him that he approached you and said, "Hey, no, I'm going to make another one." I appreciate that in people, and I appreciate the response like the one you had. You appreciate people's art.
Do you prefer to like, do you have an open kitchen where you cook or people can see, or do you have a closed off one?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I work in a pizzeria with a good friend of mine, and when I make my pizzas, I just do everything outdoors. I still don't have a business yet, but I'm trying to open it. But with all this virus thing going on, I have to stop and
Well, what do you
think
plan
things.
on what do you plan on calling your restaurant? You've had to have some ideas.
Oh, I have ideas. I have names, but I gotta narrow them down. I want to keep something simple, something that says what people are coming to eat, but not too long. So you know,
Edgar's Exotic Slices.
that sounds like somebody walking into a strip club or something.
I mean, if you would have said Edgar's Exotics, I would understand that one. It's
Yeah, I
either
guess.
going to
I
be a
guess.
black market animal program or a strip club. Either way, I'm getting a ticket, all right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I. But
What are you trying to do, like serving style wise? Like which style are you gonna stick with? We talk about chefs having their certain flavors. Like even like when someone makes a vegetarian or a vegan pizza, if they're not vegan or if they're not vegetarian, like a chef making that pizza, it doesn't truly have the taste, I would say, to it. There's like a
right,
missing of that actual
right.
inspiration into it because you don't believe in what you're
Hmm.
making.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, that's a good question right now. When I open up a place, I want to have the simple setup. You come in, and the second you walk in, I want people to see the beautiful flame of the wood fire oven in the back. Everything, clear glass, so people can see what people are cooking because it's fun. You go into somewhere and you're seeing people putting together what you're about to eat. It's exciting. It intrigues people. It's like, wow, look at what's happening. So walk in the place, the punch, the smell punches you in the face, and I want people to sit down and experience food like they're walking the streets of Naples, Italy. You know, and I'm gonna have the classics of Neapolitan pizza, to classics of street food like pizza frita, and angioletti, which are two beautiful deep fried dough dishes that are almost or even better than pizza. So I want to give people a very authentic, or as close as authentic, trip when they walk in the restaurant, and when they walk out of there, it's like they teleport back to America. And whoever comes back and visit, it's like a trip to Italy. That's what I'm gonna give people. That's my dream. Yeah.
With the deep dish pizzas and like all these pans and stuff that you can use for your pizza, how big of those like do they play a giant factor in this the different styles from putting it on like a in a wood oven or using a wood paddle type deal?
You feel like what?
Like when you use a wood paddle or something when you put a pizza in the oven compared
Yeah.
to putting it in a pan and then having it bake inside the pan, what is the distinct difference on it? Because like I feel like having it in a pan just turns it into a bit of like a casserole like we were talking about.
Yeah. The big factor is for sure the crust. One's thicker than the other, because when you cook in a wood fire oven, you gotta have something pretty thin. First of all, because of how high the temperature is, it's gonna cook faster. And second of all, yeah, it's gotta be thin, because if it cooks too fast, then the outside is gonna be cooked, but the inside is not gonna be properly cooked. Um, but yeah, but for pan pizzas, yeah, they're a lot thicker, and they have to be cooked at lower temperatures. So that's why, most of the time people just use regular deck ovens or stuff like that to cook a pan pizza.
And when you're talking about like even the pizza community, which I'm trying to get involved with right now, I'm trying to get more pizza people onto the podcast.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. Yeah.
But what have you seen the benefit wise when it comes to the pizza community? Because I started noticing all these small knit kind of artisan groups. Like if you're talking about knife making, you're talking about glass blowing, you're talking about hot sauces, you're talking about all these different things. The communities are kind of small, but they're very, very positive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, I'm starting to see that a lot more on Instagram too, especially on Instagram. Yeah, you go in there and you push the hashtag pizza, and it's amazing what you can find out there. Um, Pizza definitely unites people, and that's what I love about it. I usually try to stay away from certain people that have pizza accounts for the sake of arguing with people, and this is my thing and this is my thing. No, I most of the time what you see is happening is people supporting other guys. Like I put a pizza picture out there of what I cooked, and immediately you get this ton of comments. Wow, dude, that looks amazing. Wow, what kind of process are you doing? Can you share a little bit what you're doing? I'll share with you what I'm doing. It's encouraging, uh, and it's all through pizza. It's such a beautiful thing. Dough, sauce, and cheese put together, and people share wonderful moments with it. And now we're sharing online through pizza. Especially moments like this right now. With all the virus going on, you can go online and you can see so many people sharing each other's restaurants posts. Hey, we have carry out. Hey, we have delivery, and people are supporting each other so strongly.
Well, I
It,
mean, pizza is not supposed to technically be fought over. It's supposed to be enjoyed and turned into a community aspect. But with all these communities
right,
nowadays, it's so easy for like one person who might be toxic to come in and turn everything into a competition. Like, oh, your crust is
right,
flat, bro. Oh, your crust is this. Oh, the cheese is that. The cheese is this. It's like, why don't
right,
we just work together to, benefit each other,
exactly,
give each other tips and ideas? We're all going to find our own unique style when it comes to making a pizza. Me and you
exactly.
are never going to make the same style of pizza. We can have the same recipe and try and copy each other, but it'll never be Robbie's pizza. It'll never be Edgar's pizza. We can't copy each
Right,
other's style.
right. Especially with dough. Dough is such an unpredictable thing. It's literally a living organism.
You got to beat the shit out of it. That's what I figured out. After watching so many, I'm like, you need to either hire a bunch of boxers to beat the crap out of it, or you need to go to like a place where like people have anger management classes and just let
Yeah.
them go to town on that dough.
Oh, but it's fun though. I come from work. Sometimes I come from work and it's a pretty stressful day and it's long, and I just get in there, in the kitchen, and I start kneading some, because everything I do is head mix. I don't use a mixer. I like to understand my product. I like the consistencies of it. So I just do everything head mix, and I start kneading for like 30 minutes and I'm done. And yeah, it put a little bit of strain in your arms, but But when you look at it, it's like, wow, that was almost therapy. You just let a lot of stress out, and it's just you and the dough and your thoughts, processing, and it's
I
relaxing.
I just pictured me and you working in a pizza place, and then like next thing you know, I look over and I just see you like Edgar dropping elbows on a thing of dough, and then you hold it up, toss it to me, so I'm holding it like a person like from behind or something. You're just hitting shots to the body, like bam, 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 like get it out, and you're just like, oh, you're the best pizza I've ever made.
I must admit, it sounds far fetched, but I have done that before. I was
Dude,
visiting my wife. I was visiting my wife's cousin, and I'm gonna throw some elbows, man, and then he was just laughing.
you
And
you
I'm
take
like, "Yep,
your
that's the
stress
best
out, be
pizza."
like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this bill. You just start beating the crap out of the dough, or like, did she
Right.
really buy that? Oh my God. And you just pick it up and throw it like against the window or something where it sticks or breaks through the window.
The dough appreciates it. It's what he wants. He wants to get beat.
It wants to get beat. That's a weird
Yeah,
combination in today's
it is.
history.
It is weird. It's even weird to say, but it's what it is. Uh,
Well, I mean, even talking about pizza so much and you trying to start your own business too, like, is that what you want to do? Is you want to own your own pizza shop? You want to be the boss of the thing?
it's not as much as I want to be the boss. I just the way I actually didn't even think of it until now. Yeah, but yeah, I just want to do something different, something remarkable. And not for the sake of making myself feel good. So people say, oh yeah, he's the best pizza maker, and then I come home and I'm kind of pat myself on the back. No, I want to do it to make people feel good. You know, get a little bit of a you know mind freeing moment when you walk into my restaurant, and you can be at peace because you're about to eat probably the best thing you'll have in your life. That's just kind of what I dream. Yeah, just have my own thing, do it the way I do it, because I'm pretty meticulous in the way I do my things, but just in order to bring you the best experience possible.
A man of the people and a man of pizza. I can get down with that.
Yeah, yeah, I love serving people, man. I just enjoy it.
I always look at that because owning a business, I don't think I could ever be the boss only because trying to figure out how to pay people is like the biggest thing in my head right now. So
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know how to do that. I'm like, I'd rather just work for somebody or start a company with somebody where somebody can manage the financial stuff and I could do my own thing. But dude, I'm honestly like, you're out in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
My family goes down there a lot too. I have to make sure that I recommend to go to your pizza place or something, dude. Because I mean,
Yeah.
just by talking to you, man, I know that like you really do care about the pizza, and I think that's what's needed in a lot of places. People seem to care a little bit less.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really do. Yeah, it's easy to cook, but it is not easy to cook something good. It requires passion and sacrifice, and it's trial and error. You mess up a lot of stuff, but it's worth it once you come up with something that's worth putting out there, and that people will love it.
I mean, if we talk about like, for instance, we're talking about pizza, and you're talking about owning your own kind of place is kind of the end dream
Yeah.
because you're just so passionate about it. Have
Mhm.
you ever just wondered, like, we have a weird obsession with food a little bit?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there is a conspiracy theory idea I want to throw at you about these pizza places.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they evil and controlling people with one of the most beloved things that we can possibly cherish, which is pizza?
You know, I wonder sometimes because what is it about pizza? What is it about pizza that really gets us? We just it immediately comes to our head. We see an ad, we see it online, and we just need to have that box, and open up that box and get that cheesy goodness.
It's literally
It's-
the only food thing that has a competition of opening the boxes. A dude did like 60 in under a minute. I'm like, is this a skill? Like, I have a dumb talent of, I would say, being very good at claw machines. And that's not a talent, though, that's going to get me anywhere in life unless you want to win some girl something at the carnival. Like, it's never benefited me anywhere outside of there. And actually, it leads into I went to a one pizza place I was telling you about, Lito's Pizza, for instance. It's that really, really
yeah,
thin crust stuff. Like it's like glass. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
instead of ordering it, we went there and actually sat down and ate. And I remember there was a claw machine, and I kept going up to it, putting like $1 in, kept losing every
Mhm.
single time. They open up right at the ending. And
Yeah.
I asked my mom, I was like, look, give me one more dollar. She's like, I've given you $10 already and you haven't won anything. It's designed for you to lose. And I'm like, you can't teach me that about the world. I'm 7 years old.
Sorry for you to lose. She knew the doom of giving you the $10.
I was like, look, I'm 7 years old. You can't do this to me. I gotta have hope that the world is a beautiful place, and I have this thing I have to pursue and I have to get. And she's like, it's a freaking teddy bear and a claw machine. How are you getting this deep motivation out of it? And I go, just give me $1, okay? And she goes, fine. Then you're gonna sit down here and eat your pizza. I was like, all right. So I run around the corner, put $1 in the machine, and there's a teddy bear with a pirate outfit on. So this kid's watching me at the counter. He's just looking over like, this fucking guy, dude. He doesn't understand that it's designed for it to lose. Dude, I got it, and I literally won it. I won the little teddy bear. So
No.
now you just fueled the fire for me to go back and try it even more. So I run around the corner with this teddy bear, and I literally just slam it on the table. I'm like, boom. And she goes, holy shit. And like her and my aunt are just sitting there like, what do we say? We can't tell him that he can't do it because he obviously can. But dude,
Yeah.
it was just one of those experiences, man.
Well, my question is, what happened to the teddy bear? Did you keep track of it?
No, my freaking mom sold like all my stuffed animals at a yard sale.
What?
Yeah, she was like, you don't play with them anymore. I was like, they're collectors. She's like, what? I mean, like I had everything from every single amusement park that you would go to, like the giant fucking dog or like whatever giant animal you want to win at the end of the carnival, not when you first show up.
Yeah, the one you're going to give to your girl when you want to win over.
Yeah, you want to win those at the ending, so you don't have to be the guy that's an asshole carrying it around the park the whole entire time. Well, my lucky ass, I decided to do it right in the beginning. And my grandfather, he actually did that basketball thing where you have to throw the basketball in the hoop.
I was never good at it.
Yeah, I was never good at it either. But my grandpa has hops because I saw him shoot threes like back to back. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Wow.
And he won me this giant dog that I was like 12 at the time, so it was around the size of me. It was huge.
Yeah.
And I remember like making my dad sit there with that thing every time I went on a ride. He was like, this guy, this fucking kid.
But you are the kid that people will remember,
Exactly. I like to try and symbolize something in there too. But like even with that, like stories and stuff, everybody's got something when it's a story that comes to something. Like pizza, for instance, is a very, very common one because of how popular it is. But even if it's not even about the food, it's about just the experience around it too, like certain memories that get linked to it.
Oh yeah. I got like good and bad stories that are related to actually good and bad pizza. And sometimes the pizza sucks and the story is good, or the pizza is good and the story sucks.
I got to hear a bad pizza story.
Okay. Let's see. How about, actually, not that you said games and stuff, my first county fair when I moved to the States. I was, I'm always trying to find good pizza everywhere. So my wife says, you got to try this pizza. It's American pizza. It's, I don't want to give you expectations, but it's just for the experience. I'm already expecting myself that I might be chewing on cardboard. What you say, it's for the experience. So I went in, and I got this guy, this chubby guy, and he's got more grease on his apron than it's on the counter. And I think more pizza sauce than on the can, on his apron. But anyway, I decided to try it, and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm walking into a trap right in this thing, it's a trap. And I get the slice of pizza, and it was like huge. And the second I think the crust, it was like a brick. And I ate it. It was fine. The pizza sucked. Honestly, it's kind of sad. It was sad pizza, but the story is that it was an awesome fair. I got to meet all these games that you're talking about, because we had similar things back at home, but you guys take it to like another level here, which is super cool. So yeah, I got to see animals of all kinds, mostly farm animals.
I mean, I wonder why we decided that a paper plate was the best device to transfer a piece of pizza on. Like, I really don't like that because I don't know if it's just where I've gotten my slices of pizza, but it gets so greasy it burns through the paper plate and you end up freaking getting it all over yourself. You're like, all right, yeah, this is fun.
Right,
This is
and
enjoyable.
that's what I forgot to do to say too. That the guy hands me in the place, and the thing is just dripping in grease, and the grease just gets on my shirt, and I'm like, oh great. It was a good day. It was a good experience, but the pizza sucked, man. But yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, we got on this paper plate. I mean,
I think it was something developed by one of them. Like I try and look at every pizza place or like all these delivery and mom and pop shops now. If we were gonna say deliveries though, because I want to go back to what we were saying before about the conspiracy theories, kind of.
oh yeah.
What in your mind is considered one of the worst delivery pizza place services?
Oh, I don't know, man. We
Or
don't get
I
delivery.
would say the most evilest in your mind. I look at like Little Caesars is pretty fucking evil. Um,
Why? What makes you say that their delivery is evil? Because
First of
I have a
all, I don't trust anybody that works out of a Target or a Kmart, and that's where my Little Caesars is. It's not an actual building. It's out of like a mall or so I look at that, and then I also don't trust the hot and ready 10-minute or like, put it in and bam. It's
oh yeah.
it's dishonest. That's bullshit. It's not hot and ready. It's not even when I heat it up, it's like a hot pocket. It's still cold on the inside, and it's like this isn't enjoyable.
Right. It's not hot and ready. It's cold and stale.
Yeah, exactly. And then I look at like Papa John's too. I don't know what it is. Everyone always talks about the glory of Papa John's, the amazing pizza. That's true, but the guy looks a little sketchy. He looks like he's got a couple bodies in the basement.
Right. And that's the thing about me and pizza chains. I'm thankful that some of them have led us into the experience of pizza, but they're not for the food. It's a corporation, it's a system catering for society, and it doesn't matter if it's coal or whatever, it's if they're just producing these pizzas like hot bread, back in the day, and just letting them out of the oven and sending them into the streets, and catering for people, and people are just, accustomed to it. They have conformed to this patterns.
Well, even like you hear stories about some of the delivery drivers too. Like they'll talk about how weird it is. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of anything that goes on with like Disney World, like what they do with their
No,
employees, the freaky shit behind that. Like you have to go by
no.
your Disney character name. Like if you work there, you can't take pictures behind stage. You can't take pictures in your uniform. You have to keep that uniform on the whole entire time because they don't want you to expose to the kids. There was a woman that was shouting in the street. She was getting into an argument with one of the other characters, and they
Wow.
were arguing because I think it was like a cheating scenario, like he cheated on her with somebody or something. So they're airing out their shit in the middle of Disney World. Some security guys came right up, literally, some security guys came right up on a golf cart, picked her up, and just took her away without anything. She's kicking and screaming. They didn't say a word. They just came in like the Men in Black, picked her up, and scooped her out.
Like the CIA or the SWAT team
Yeah, and
taking her to the
they've
back.
done that with employees that take their selfie and put it up on Instagram or something. There was a girl that
Oh
did
yeah.
that. She put it up on Snapchat, and Disney World found out, and they fucking took her out, man.
Now that's some freaking conspiracy stuff right there, if you
Like
ask me.
you can look up the video. It's a girl dressed up as what's her name from Toy Story? Not Woody, but the other girl, the one with the red hair. But you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
She was
I'm
dressed up
about to.
she was dressed up like that character, and this some dude comes up, she goes no, and then all you hear is like all you really see is this guy in a security jacket pick her up, put her on his shoulder, and just walk off, and everyone's like, what the fuck just happened?
Wow, that's wild. But
Yeah,
that makes for a spicy story.
yeah, a spicy story for sure, but if you want to add a little more seasoning on that one, did you know nobody technically dies at Disney World?
What? How is what?
You know, you
What?
hear about accidents at a carnival, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're having like a heart attack or if you're having something severely wrong with you, the ambulance people know to not pronounce you dead on the scene in Disney World. They take you outside and pronounce you dead. So technically, nobody has died in Disney World.
Whoa.
That's some shady shit when you start looking at it.
Whoa. Man.
It reminds me of freaking Papa John's when they had the pizza insurance. I was like, this guy is just what's happening?
Pizza insurance. What the
You,
hell's that?
you never heard of pizza insurance?
No. How long ago was this?
I think it was either Domino's or Papa John's, but it's called pizza insurance. So if you messed up, like they had a commercial of a guy that was like walking in the snow with a pizza, and as he's approaching
Oh,
yeah,
yes. That was Domino's. It was like stupid. I hated the ad because like, how stupid are you, man? You look like pathetic. Letting go of your pizza. You go down with the pizza. You don't let the pizza fall, you know?
and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, this is a terrible way for people to scam you out of getting free pizza, and that's what they would do.
Yeah.
Like people would
Or
just like, oh, I got a hair
yeah.
on it, and then they would be like, they would show up, be like, oh, sorry about that. Here's a free pizza. It's like, hold on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah. Or the one where people would like take a picture of a pizza somewhere else and then you bring it in or something like that, and then they will give you a pizza. You remember that one too?
Yeah. See, I remember one time ordering Papa John's pizza, and my buddy put a submission order online for it. And he was like, can you draw something inside the box, make it creative, make it fun, make it like, something cool, open up, you just have fun with it. Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing. They even forgot the little peppers they always add in the box.
Oh,
We did that with
man.
Domino's, and Domino's drew like the Batman symbol. They went all out with it. They went all in. Like the dude wrote a note and everything, like enjoyed this pizza, and like it was intense. So I was like, that's a good thing. But like, I mean, from all the giant companies, there were Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's. I'm telling you, man, I feel like a lot of those employees are like, help me. Like, they have their mouth smiling, but their mouth's not
Yeah,
moving.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's intense. I feel like every time I see him on the commercial, he's there with Peyton fucking Manning. I'm like, both of you guys are evil.
All right. So chains evil.
Pizza, yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, what would you? I consider like if anybody's going to donate to the community thing at church, it's probably going to be Domino's. Um, it's just they have that mentality. If you create pizza insurance, it might be stupid as hell, but damn, I mean, you honestly don't really care about how much pizza costs then.
Yeah, I guess. I'm a skeptic towards uh, chains. I don't know why. I mean, like again, I said, I'm thankful. A lot of them has led us into the path of what the notion of pizza is to some of us. But I'll always go back to the mom and pops. That's just legit as it gets
Yeah, I
to
have to
me.
say, that's a good option though. I mean, sadly, I think more mom and pop shops like you hear about like small little kind of businesses. I think they should do more of a delivery factor, but sometimes that classic mom and pop shop pizza place just doesn't do delivery. It's all about going there and experiencing it.
Right, right. And right now, with this crazy stuff happening, they're struggling and they're doing their best. And that's where we come in, and that's where we do our best to support our local people. Keep those places, keep the magic going. Just keep those magical moments happening. And not stopping. And one day, hopefully, bring our kids and say, "Hey, this is where we used to come." Back in the day, and then they will do the same with their kids, and the cycle will just repeat of the magic of what pizza is,
They,
what family time and all that happens.
they make an app for pizza called Pizza People, and it's just filled with pizzaiolos all sharing their experience and documentations. Like it's like Twitter for pizza people.
Oh yeah,
That would be awesome.
yeah, yeah. It would be, man.
And then you have
So
like a certain connection, like when you had there was a thing back in the day called the Amigo. It was like a little cellular device, but it
oh
gave you
yeah,
like 5 numbers to call to, and that's it. You get nothing else. It's just 5 people that are saved in your contact. That's literally what you could do, like LinkedIn with pizza. You just have your connections with other pizzaiolos, and then you have an audience, and the audience are the people that watch you, but then you have your close connections.
dude, that'd be awesome. That'd be like super cool.
You guys come together for a pizza convention and freaking
Yeah.
shit on Papa John's for how sketchy they are.
You're out for Papa John's, man.
I'm telling you, don't trust anybody that has that curly of hair. I'm sorry. It's just it looks glossy. I look at it and I'm like, there's so much hairspray in that a fucking gale force 40-mile-an-hour wind wouldn't be able to move that sucker.
or it could be pizza grease. That could be the
Dude.
magic.
Oh
That
my
could be
God.
You ever think of that?
That's perfect. He just dips his head with all the fucking pizza grease, and then he uses dough to keep his eyebrows straight up because they look like they're fucking plastered up.
On the butter, the butter. Maybe the butter. Nothing you said dipping the head in. Maybe that's it. I mean, that would do a trick.
I feel like when he walks off camera set, people are like, "That was an awesome commercial." He's like, "Go fuck yourself," and then he just walks in the back where there's like a giant freezer, and it's like the scene from like Rocky Balboa where he's punching the frozen cow meat, like all the cows are hanging upside down by chains. It's just Papa John's basement. It's just people like strapped and like kind of like tied up, hanging upside down, screaming, and he's like, 30 minutes or less, huh? 30 minutes or less.
So my question is, what happened to Papa John's, man? What happened?
I'm not a big fan of Peyton Manning. My family's from Baltimore, so they don't like the Colts at all. So that was always associated with that. Also, his nose is a little bit scary. But I look at like Papa John's. I can tell when someone's just bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, someone starts talking to you. You're like, all right, bro. Sure you did. Sure you did. Sure you climbed Mount Everest. I believe you did it in bare feet. I believe it. But I look at him and I see that false kind of happiness, or that false like, I'm gonna be your friend, I'm Papa John or whatever, I'm your friend. It's the same thing.
I'm Papa.
Yeah, it's like I got the same feeling with Jared from Subway, and then that thing happened with Jared from Subway, so I don't fucking trust anybody.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I got the same feeling about Mr. Rogers too, if you really want me to go all about it. Everyone always talks about the glory of Mr. Rogers. I'm like, he reminds me of a Bill Cosby type. I have trust issues.
That is interesting.
I mean, see. Once that Jared thing from Subway happened, I just started being like, well, I'm going to start trusting my gut, because honestly, this is not what he meant by a $5 footlong.
That was bad, man. That was bad. I remember that. Yeah.
Soon, I guarantee to you, Papa John's is going to come out with a thing about how they found 40 people locked in his basement.
All right, I get you. All right.
You're like, I don't know about this. I can't.
Well, it's just I don't know, because sometimes I trust in my gut, and it is, man. It happens. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
He's down in the basement screaming "Rocket Man" while making 2 pizza slices kiss, and he's just making you watch. That's a torturer. That's a torturer.
What's funny, dude, is back at home, when I think of chains, I always tell my friends when I get here, it's like, back at home we used to go to these places and it's like luxuries. It's like luxury places. I go to Papa John's and the place is like impeccable, and they treat you like you're royalty, and then they bring you pizza. Same with Pizza Hut and other places you would go. It's like, wow, this is awesome. And then you get here and it's the food you buy when you got like $5 in your wallet. So it's just interesting. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but
it's just what's weird about pizza places is, like, I know a bunch of friends that have worked for Domino's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, any of these delivery service places, and they always quit and talk about the one thing they really hated was management. And I'm like, how do you have to be in management of literally a legit pizza place and be such an asshole? I haven't come across anybody that has talked about the goodness of their management. Like, it's always been like, oh, my boss was a dick. It's like, how can you do that when you're around pizza? Like, you literally get to make pizza all day and deliver it. I mean, maybe the orders can kind of cause stress, but you're literally just legit having fun. Like, I thought about being a delivery guy only because you get to be in your car and go somewhere. And plus, when when I knock on the door, I can just like crack a joke and get to know people too. Like, that's the fun part about it. It's like, but you hear so much complications, like never get involved in the pizza industry. It's like, man, you got to have fun with that shit.
Yeah, dude, delivery drivers are the heroes. You open the door and you see this guy, and it's like, oh, you see the lights shining up on him, and
you want to kiss him on the lips and stuff and be like, thank you so much. He's like, thank you. and you're like, oh my God, it's like you look and see the pizza, you grab, you're like, you're an awesome person, like you're the best person I have ever came across in my entire life. And he's like, thank you.
Exactly.
I am pretty awesome. Now I'm not gonna go kill myself. And you're like, have a good one,
Right.
man. See you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah,
And then he's walking away. You're like, see you tomorrow. He goes, maybe.
yeah.
It's like, what? What'd you say, buddy?
Are you okay?
Why are you crying in your car, man? It's the spices all the pizza's making my eyes run.
Right.
Hey,
The
man,
spicy chili.
you're driving into oncoming traffic. You all right?
That's bad.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we've we definitely spiced it up a little bit, I would say, Edgar, and I really appreciate you for coming out and doing the podcast, man.
Oh yeah, man. This has been awesome.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode Out of the Blank podcast, and stay tuned for our next episode.